Special thanks to all our patrons who support the show every single week. We couldn't do it without you. Head over to patreon.com/runeatdrinkpodcast and subscribe today for bonus content, exclusive happy hour live chats, and more. Patrons, you help keep the Run, Eat, Drink podcast going, and we're so grateful for you. Not a patron yet? Join us today at patreon.com/runeatdrinkpodcast. Help support the show by using our Amazon affiliate link anytime you shop on Amazon for running gear, food, beverages, or anything else the little gray trucks might bring your way. Just use runeatdrink.net/Amazon anytime you shop. It costs nothing extra. It's only one extra click, and it helps us keep the lights on and the bandwidth flowing. Just go to runeatdrink.net/Amazon, and we thank you for your support.
Hey, this is Mike, a.k.a. Run Dizzard, a.k.a. Who Is That Guy? You are listening to the Runcation Nation. Get ready. Run, Eat, Drink podcast coming at you live. It's amazing. Listen.
Welcome to the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. We feature destination races from across the country. And after the race, we take you on a tour of the best local food and beverage to celebrate. So whether you are an elite runner or a back of the packer like us, you'll know the best places to accomplish, explore, and indulge on your next runcation. It's time for another Runcation recap.
We're going to join this conversation with Mike Leslie, already in progress.
Now, when did you go to sleep and when did you have to be up for the race?
We were meeting so there were two meetings in the morning. One was obviously for the people in the earlier waves. It was like a 7:15 because you have to take for us, we had to take the train out to Blackheath. So you're taking the tube. So there was that. And then I think I was on the 8:45. So I was the later one because I was in the back of the pack corrals. So
okay.
you take the tube. The station's right in Trafalgar Square. It's kind of off to if you're looking at the museum, it's going to be off to your right-hand side. Hopped on there, and it was 3 stops, and we were there. So it's not like it was a really long ride. Yeah, it was fairly quick, but they say on race day, earlier trains are better because as we're passing by stations, you can just see
the mob of people.
People trying to get on these trains. And not just runners, just people supporting and getting up to cheer people on.
Family, friends.
It's so efficient. Just riding the train and sitting down and not have to worry about being on a bus with a bus driver that might get you lost at 2 a.m.
That's never happened. We've never experienced that at a race.
Or you're just sitting there in traffic while you're hearing off in the distance, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, no.
Well, there goes that race.
Yeah. So you got up what was your pre-race routine?
I'm pretty automatic now. So it's, I like to get up like an hour and a half before just to get my body moving. No caffeine before a race. I'm a weird person.
No
coffee.
It
affects my heart rate. It affects my heart rate. So I try to keep my heart rate as low as possible and be calm. And so it's a bottle they don't have Gatorade over there. It's, what the heck is it called? It's a weird name. I'm going to remember.
They don't have Gators over there, so that makes sense.
No Gatorade. No Propel.
No Gatorade.
No. No Noon.
It's their own, because it's an L, it's their type of Gatorade, but it's super sweet. So I had a bottle of that, and then I brought my own fuel. So I've actually switched over to a vegan-based fuel company with Spring Energy. It's all vegan. And it's called Wolfpack, and it's an individual pouch. It's 250 calories, and it's oats and fruit.
Did you bring that with you from the States?
Yes. Oh. Yeah, and I got stopped. They pulled my bag.
Okay, you're getting into what I was about to ask you, so that our Runcation Nation might know if you're coming from the States and you're traveling and you're bringing food products with you.
What's going to happen?
Be aware they're going to, especially obviously, I sort my things. Like I have like my race gel sorted, my pre-race sorted, anything like that, like salt tabs. For some reason, my race fuel and my pre-race got, I don't know if it was red flagged or what. So the guy's swabbing it as I'm like, I swear to God, it's not cocaine and it's not a bomb. It's fruit. He's like swabbing it.
Oh my
and
God.
I'm like, please don't throw it away because I don't know what I'm going to do.
Okay, so they didn't give you, they were swabbing it for potential explosive. They weren't pulling it in terms of customs introducing food into the island.
No.
Okay.
It was more so, what is this and why are these weird looking packages? I'm like, it says apple and it says Canterbury. I don't know what to tell you guys.
Okay.
But,
Did your travel company take care of the passport kind of thing? Speaking of that, surrounding the
international travel.
Yeah.
All the passport stuff myself. Yeah.
And was it hard?
No, really. We flew into Heathrow, and Heathrow is really efficient, especially like getting through. So they have these cool machines. Once you get off the plane, you get your stuff, and then they have a machine where you actually put your passport down and you stare at a camera, and it, scans your eyes, scans your face, and then you go about your day.
Okay.
You walk right through. So
good.
That was.
Because international travel, you have to consider that. And I imagine because you're getting these world marathon majors that you had your passport ready when you knew you had gotten into London. You were like, yes, I have it ready. I am ready to go. So
I made sure
don't start the night before you're going to go.
And say, oops, where's my passport?
Yeah.
Or don't wait and think that if you have to reapply, because I guess there's a backlog now from what I've heard for passports.
Okay.
It's taking a little bit longer. So I would say if you're doing an international race and it's months out, get your passport squared away sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Good tip.
Yeah.
Good tip for that. See, it's international. So I'm like, you got to be ready for anything. Yeah.
So you had no, aside from potentially being a terrorist, you had no problems bringing your hydration solutions and your nutrition into the country with you.
Oh.
No issues. No, I'm almost, in a way, I wonder if they saw it over and over again, because you figure how many runners are going to be coming.
I'm sure they did. Yeah.
What all kinds of fuel are they going to see? Yeah.
On our plane alone from Orlando, we had, you can hear conversations on the plane. I heard at least half a dozen other runners talking about London. So I'm sure at this point, they're probably like, I've seen this before. This is Maurten or this is Spring.
Yeah.
Or Goo.
Or whatever. Yeah. Or here are your sport beans, Amy. It's okay.
Yeah.
Here your block shoes.
Have you tried Maurten?
It's funny you say that. That is actually, they have the powdered pre-race drink that I take, and that's about 300 calories. I will combine that drink with my vegan fuel, and those are what I have on the way to the race. So I can get some extra calories in. And I'm not really bloated. It's not too filling, because I can take the LMNT salt.
Love LMNT.
Hydration.
Yeah.
Not a sponsor of the show, although we'd love for them to be. But
they could be.
I throw that out there. They should be.
We are huge fans. That is one of those things that if you haven't tried it, especially if you're a hot weather runner.
I like watermelon.
LMNT. LMNT is how it's spelled. Yeah.
We'll link to it in the show notes.
Yeah. Really good. Which one do you use?
I like the orange.
You like orange?
The orange.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will mix 2 packets of the orange with the Maurten pre-race into a disposable water bottle. And I carry that with me, and I sip that before the race. So I'm constantly giving myself electrolytes, calories. So I will sip that up until I get into the corral to go.
Smart.
Ooh. So do you do any stretching or pre-race routines?
I'm a runner. I don't stretch.
No stretching. Jeff Galloway would be so proud. I don't believe in stretching.
That is a Galloway runner right there.
Yeah.
I am a Galloway runner. We don't believe in stretching.
We don't believe it. We don't. Okay, so basically you get up, no caffeine. You have that pre-mixed. And did you participate in gear check at all?
No, only because my hotel was so close.
Smart.
There you go.
Again, another benefit for doing that.
Yeah. It's 0.2. If you were to map it from where the actual finish line is, you just walk down the street and you take a left, and that's where my hotel was. But the gear check was really efficient there. You walk up and you have to get through security. Like, you show them your bib to get into the main holding area before they put you in the corrals. And then they have these giant trucks, and just by number, you give them your bag. They have a tag. You scan it. And then when you finish, those same trucks are parked by the finish line, and they're just unloading it. Here's your bag. There you go.
So it sounds like a point-to-point race.
Yeah, it's point to point.
Okay. All right. So you load the geared trucks and then they take off for the finish after everything's gone. Okay.
It was watching people get their bags. It was super seamless.
Were you emotional? I would cry at the drop of a hat, but were you emotional at all? I know. Okay. I'm in the company of men pre-race heading there on the tube and getting into the corrals.
Not at that point. That's more so where I just go over in my head. Yeah, nerves. You go over in your head. You think, okay, if this happens, what do I do? If this happens, what do I do? The last minute checkup from like head to toe. Like, how am I feeling? Is there any weird tingle in my foot, or is my quad acting stupid? Like, just try to. And also, it's warm, and I was sitting down. I'm like, I'm not going to be sitting down for
very long.
Another how many hours? So I'm just going to kind of take this all in.
Enjoy this while I can.
And then you get to the open, they drop you off on the train and you walk up a little hill. You're in basically this tiny little town, and you walk up the hill to this huge open field. And then you just see this sea of humanity. And
porta
walk
potties?
Around.
Do you see porta potties?
Tons.
Okay,
and tons of. They've got weird ones though. They've got. Okay,
they're called portaloos.
Oh,
Kidding.
They've got tons of the standard regular ones, and then they've got the troughs for the guys.
Sure.
Where you walk in and they have just like the separated ones for the guys. It's not covered, so it's all open air, but they have a fence around them. And then they had troughs for women.
What?
Yeah, I'd never heard of that before.
What?
No.
How does that work?
You kind of go in and you have I heard a woman talking about, the reason I know about this is the woman next to me in the corral was saying, "I will never do that again."
Oh, okay. So avoid the truck.
Yeah.
Hydrate, nutrition carefully.
Don't use the troughs, ladies.
Don't use the troughs, ladies.
Okay, were there major lines for that? The porta potties?
It was like no, because there were so many. It was great. It was only. It's how sometimes you see them, they're like 40 people deep.
Yeah.
Maybe 10, 15 people, because they were just rotating, and then they had the other ones. It's cool because it wasn't in one area. So you had like sections of porta potties.
Okay.
And then you had the troughs in the middle.
So it was spaced out.
People are just buzzing around and coming and going. And
that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Race directors, take note.
Yeah, seriously.
And the corrals, I imagine, were very well organized. And
the corrals, here's the weird thing. So there was only so many points to get into the launching corrals, right?
Okay.
And they had your wave numbers on the banners. So I was in I think it was wave 18. So you have to look, okay, that's 1 through this, then this. Okay, so that's mine over here. You move over to that area, but then let's just say it was 10 through 18. They'll call 10. Everyone with 10 goes in. Then they wait. Go through again. Okay, 11. Then 11 goes in. So they actually space everybody out and give everyone enough time to get going. But with London, there's 3 different colored bibs and 3 different start points.
3 different start points?
Yeah, so not everyone starts from the big area in Blackheath. So there's red, green, and black.
Red, green, and black.
Okay.
Yep. So mine, you can see mine was black back there.
Yours is black. Wait a minute.
By the way, we are doing this as a video as well. Patrons get to see the video.
We'll see it.
And
so behind you, where it says TCS, you were in the black.
It's black and blue
area.
Yeah, it's black and blue, and then there were ones that had like green and then red. And it's weird. So you start, and Blackheath will start on one side, and then green and red were on the other side, and then you don't merge until mile 2.5, 3.
Oh,
and
wow!
Then everyone comes together, and then you're on the course.
Do you know why they do that?
I think from what I was told, green was all your elites, your fast runners, get them out, get them going. And then the other ones were like certain charities or people that are actually doing Guinness Book World Record challenges. There was a guy that ran by me, and I'm still bitter about this.
Oh, no. Tell us.
He was dribbling a field hockey ball with a field hockey stick for the whole course, and he ran by me, and he was like in his 60s. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, homeboy.
Seriously?
That's awesome.
Dribbling the whole time.
Yeah, I could hear click clack, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then I see him, and he was like, cheers, mate. Click clack, click clack.
Oh,
click,
it was English.
Yeah, there's a dude that ran with a refrigerator strapped to his back.
No.
Did he pass you?
No, I beat him.
Okay.
I beat the guy dressed up as Big Ben. Literally, he was in a Big Ben costume. There's some crazy costumes. There was a guy in a full Furby-looking giant cartoon head, and I watched him just crash and burn because he's running with his partner, and you can see him towards the end of the race. He was so hot that his partner had to take the head of the costume off and just start pouring water down his costume. I felt so bad for the dude. But yeah, no, they have all these weird. If you look up for London, there's all types of weird Guinness Book of World Record things that people have done with that race.
It gets you in the book. That's all that matters.
Whatever. Go for your passion. People.
Absolutely.
Go for your passion.
That is so funny.
So are there different... I imagine the elites go off first, whatever their area is and all of that. And then what time did you actually start?
I want to say like 11:15ish.
Oh, so really you got to pace and time your... It's like in these big Abbott World majors. You're getting there and then you have to conserve energy as much as possible before you start.
Yeah, but it didn't feel like I was there for a long time. And
really?
Maybe because it was a cooler day and that was just, for me, it's such a nice change of pace. Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about weather. Can we talk about weather?
Cool and overcast. It was great. Cool and overcast. It was perfect for running.
So you've trained in the Florida heat and humidity.
But I'm from cold weather. My base is still cold weather running. Like for me, I had...
Fair.
Most people were wearing like sweatshirts or jackets. I had a throwaway jacket and then I had a poncho to sit on. And that was about it.
Smart.
But for the race, I had arm sleeves, half sleeves, and then my regular singlet and shorts, and that was it. I didn't need anything else. It was perfect.
What do you carry with you? What did you carry?
I just have a handheld water bottle. That's it.
That's it? Yep. And then you had nutrition with you?
Yeah, so I can stuff all my nutrition into the pocket of my water bottle. Everyone says it looks like a VHS camera when I run with it, but it has all my...
That's a throwback for all us 80s kids. I love it. I love
digital.
Before digital, before downloading and streaming, kids.
Yes. When if you downloaded, it took the whole day to get the Star Wars trailer.
Exactly.
And if someone picked up the phone, you had to start all over again.
Here, we're going to insert the AOL dial-up right now for us just kids.
Welcome. You've got mail.
You've talked about the weather. Talk a little bit about the course itself. What could somebody expect? Are we talking rolling hills? Are we talking good sections of flat? On-course entertainment, aid stations,
pacing groups.
What can I expect as somebody coming there as a first timer?
What do I need to do? I imagine I'd be overwhelmed.
So many pacers. Actually, there was even Team Galloway was represented there. Twigs was there.
Of course he was.
Of course, yes. Yeah, I think I saw it on social media.
Of course, Coach Twigs is everywhere.
He is.
So tons of pacers, everything from, I think they even had a 7-hour pacer.
Excellent. What's the time limit?
I think there's really, they say there's technically a time limit for a finish. I want to say it's like between 7 or 8 hours to get your official star.
Good.
Yeah. I know some races are
6.
The 6-hour cutoff, I think it is. But I want to say it's about 7 or 8 hours is the cutoff for this one. There were still people unofficially finishing all through the night. Like you were hearing it and seeing it on the news.
Do they still get a medal?
So it was pretty cool.
I don't know. Do they still get a medal? Who knows? But
as far as I knew, they got medals.
Who knows? We'll do some research. We'll see what happens with those late finishers. But yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think they had pace crews up to 7:30. Now that I think about it, they had a 7:30 pacer, and they actually start those pacers early in one of the other waves.
Smart.
Sorry about that. Was it the Red Wave? I think the Red Wave had the 7:30 pacers. So if you said on your registration you're going to be a 7 to 8 hour or 7:30 pace, they put you in and they start you earlier than everybody else. And then
I think that's so
smart. I remember
smart.
Running, and I see a 7:30 ahead of me, and I'm going,
what?
No. I'm like, what happened? Did I miss? Did I?
No, that makes total sense though. What that allows is those, and I love races that do this. Mm-hmm. That allows them to cross that finish line around the same time that others are crossing. They don't feel like they're alone. And it allows them to have a race finish line experience that's on par with somebody who's not an elite, but who's a mid-packer, essentially.
And you're not finishing and the archway's already down and the people are already gone.
Exactly.
Or like New York City. Like, I know that they celebrate all the finishers in New York City, but you see some of these people finishing in the middle of the night. And like you said, they don't have people out there cheering for them. And to me, everyone deserves to get
a finish.
Get theirs at the finish.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
We're fans of that because regardless of your time, the mile is the mile.
Yeah. I love it.
And
that's why I love the sport of running, is that everybody talks about, all runners, no matter how fast, how slow, talk about everybody who crosses that finish line, they deserve that celebration.
So I just double checked. The cutoff time is 8 hours the moment the final participant crosses the start line.
8 hours from from a balloon lady I'm just kidding.
From the last person starting.
Starting. Okay.
Yeah. So it's hard to decipher, but they say it's an 8 hour from that point.
That's good.
Ahead of the game at like 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
So you should say you're going to finish as early as possible so that you can be in. No. Okay.
So describe the course.
Yeah.
What can a person expect? Is it going to be rolling hills, flat, mostly urban? You said you start in the middle of a field. What am I going to be looking at? What do I see?
You see everything that makes London wonderful, from small towns to the financial district. You run by Cutty Sark, the giant ship that's at mile 6. You're literally running and it's right next to you, and you're looking and you take a bend around it. It's really cool. I would say it's a little hilly at first, and then it flattens out, and then there's a little bit of an incline at the very end, but you don't feel it. It's not Boston where you're getting beat up at the very end. Mm-hmm. I would say, one of the flatter courses. I think like London, Chicago, and Berlin are like the three that to me seem like they would be the flattest of them all.
Okay.
And the most back of the pack friendly.
Yeah. And
in terms of course.
I want to talk about energy. London brings the energy. I have never experienced anything like this in my entire life.
Do tell.
Yes.
The people, you start and they're there. It's their town, and you're running through these neighborhoods, and people are coming out of the pub and they're cheering for you. And I wore my singlet from the Boston Marathon, but they thought my name was Boston, so they kept calling me Boston all day. And these random people, but they'll run next to you and cheer you on, and I had guys from the pub trying to give me beer.
Did you drink any?
No,
on the course? No,
I did not drink any beer on course.
Okay.
Party foul, I know.
Whiskey, anything? They were trying to give you shots, or?
Oh, they were offering whiskey too. Oh, there was whiskey being offered. There was a guy, he came out of a pub with just trays.
That's
and
great.
He was standing there. But they're partying too. This is like a big day for them. They're getting lubricated and they're having fun but they're
so the city really adopts the race, is what I'm hearing.
They just open arms, embrace the race. It's not like the only part where I don't want to say like you're in solitude, you have to run through like a tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
There's really not a lot going there. It's towards the end of the race. Like you have to go through a tunnel and kind of loop back through the financial district, and just people can't be there. Other than that, people just running along the sides of you and just cheering you on. But there's one spot for me. So full disclosure, I blew up in this race.
Now, what do you mean?
I went out way too fast.
Excitement.
Oh.
You were really excited, right?
So there were lessons learned in this race as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So I started off with, normally I run with the 6 hour pace group. That's kind of like my sweet spot.
Okay.
I decided this race, I'm feeling pretty good. Let's see if I can run with the 5:30 and the 5:45. What's the worst thing that could happen?
You tried something new on race day, huh?
Yeah. And then I blew up around mile 11 or 12, and my legs were like, yeah, no, you're not running this fast anymore. So I was then, from that point on, in the pain cave. But this is where I go back to the city. You want to talk about people that see you hurting and telling you not to quit, telling you it doesn't matter, you're doing this, like just everybody, not just me, everybody around me. And then right around mile 12 to 13 is what's called Rainbow Row. And it is the most LGBTQ friendly, positive experience you will ever see. Drag queens singing, rainbow banners, music, excitement, people with flags. And it was like, energized me. That was the point where it's, okay, this is the kick in the butt I needed. Okay, I'm good now. And just people really embracing every single runner. And it's so unique.
Was there on-course entertainment that you encountered that was not like the people trying to give you shots or the...
Rainbow Row had a DJ, there's a band, there were drag queens,
nice
performers, and then...
But this is the community, not the race doing it.
So this is all community. So the community really comes out and entertains. There was like this banging DJ at like mile 17 playing the most like amazing EDM and was just like getting everybody all fired up. But one thing I remember, I was like right after Cuddy Sark, I'm running and I could hear a brass band. And I don't know if you're familiar with any of like the 1980s English music.
Yes.
Remember the band Madness?
Yes.
They were playing songs from Madness on a brass band, like on the road, like next to the road. And I was like, oh my God, this is like the best day ever.
Oh my God.
They were playing like one of my favorite Madness songs, House of Fun.
That's
I was like,
awesome.
Give me some ELO.
Kicker. There's a guy that was playing with them. I didn't notice he had a bib on. He finished the race playing a trombone.
No.
So he's playing with them, and then he's running next to everybody playing the trombone.
Wow.
That's super cool.
Yeah. It was like DJs later in the course. It was just, everybody was just, yeah, it was great. And the cool thing I like with London is you don't get cups of water.
No?
You get little bottles. And they have this, so you grab a little bottle of water, and they have this, it says drink, drain, drop. So it has a little sport top on it. So you basically squeeze the water, whatever you need, or you can carry it with you, drain it when you're done with it. And then they have recycle bins. You pop them in the recycle bins.
Oh, that's cool.
All along the course.
That's their water stops. It's drink, drain, drop.
And then,
which I love.
That's so smart.
That's so cool for like management of that.
I was going to say, for cleanup, for an event that big, can you imagine if they did the paper cup route?
It takes over the whole city. What about nutrition along the course? Official nutrition, or is there none?
No, they had some. It was the same company that does I think it's Lycozade, I think is the name of the company. It's their Gatorade brand. I think for me, I like when you have the option of doing either water or Powerade or Gatorade at every stop. This one, they had very limited electrolyte drinks.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, there was only 3 of them.
On the whole course?
Yes, there was only 3 stops. And then there was 2 where they were giving away, they had their own gels from that company.
Wait, I'm sorry. Let me clarify.
Yeah.
How many, you said there were only 3 of them on the course. Do you mean there were only 3 stops that had electrolyte?
Yeah, Lycozade.
Or only 3 stops total?
3 Lycozades, and that was it for their electrolytes.
But there were plenty of hydration stations.
Oh, they're maybe every mile and 3/4.
Okay, that was what I wanted to make sure. If you
need electrolytes,
only 3 for the whole course, I'd be like, you need to bring your own.
Yeah, if you need electrolytes or you need salt tabs or anything like that, then you want to bring it.
You want to bring your own, and I'm going to say that their version of Gatorade is ridiculously sweet, because you're getting it in pretty much little containers, and it's not watered down, so it's potent.
Gotcha.
I forget what flavor it was. It was like that citrus flavor that Gatorade used to do, the orange citrus looking one.
Right.
Yeah.
I call it baby aspirin flavored.
Yeah, it was overly sweet, so it was a little hard to take down.
So take a little bit of it and then have some water.
Yeah.
Later, or
if you have your bottle of water, you can try to water it down if you still have your bottle of water.
Or go. Yeah, to mix it up. But that's good to know.
That is good to know.
That's like a tip. Because you're nervous enough, and then you're like managing hydration and nutrition that you haven't seen before. So it's important, and you're nervous. And to your point, you go out, if you go out a little fast because of the nerves and the energy and the crowd and everything, then you have to dial it in. And I imagine that tunnel where you don't have anybody by the finish is a place where you can get into your head and either get ready for a strong finish or there are a lot of, I would be really emotional and right before the finish. But you have to get yourself ready for a strong finish, and you have to get ready to party over that accomplishment. That's a big accomplishment. So how was the finish and the bling? Let's talk about that.
The finish is great. I had probably one of the coolest things ever. So I have some friends from my hometown in Salem that live in Japan now.
Ooh.
And unbeknownst to me and to my wife, they were in London and they didn't tell me. And my wife was waiting at Big Ben, and they were there.
Oh, cool.
Is that where where is the finish?
The finish is right after Buckingham Palace.
Okay.
So Big Ben is mile 25, and then you go from there to Buckingham Palace.
Okay, for reference, this is good.
And she always is at mile 25 at every marathon. That's just where she hangs out.
It's a tradition with your wife?
Yes.
Oh.
Like she did in Boston, and yeah, so she did it here. She's always at mile 25.
What is your wife's name?
Kelly.
Kelly. Yeah. Shout out to Kelly at mile 25. Good for you.
Yeah. So that was very emotional for me. I hadn't seen them in 5 years. And then like they're all of a sudden I'm running and she sticks her head out over the guardrail so I can see her because she's got bright red hair. You can't miss her.
She's beautiful. She's beautiful.
And then I'm getting closer. And I'm like, who's she standing? Who? And then all of a sudden, my friend Jenny Lee and my friend Eric turn around. And I'm like, oh, really, guys? You're going to make me cry at mile 25? I'm like, okay, thanks. Cool.
Did you stop and take pictures, or was it that kind of like you were apart?
We took a couple pictures. No, we took a couple pictures because they were right on the guardrail on the left-hand side of the road. So I was able to stop for a second and then reel it all in. And then I'm like, I guess I got to finish this thing now. So,
yeah, at that point, you really can't just say, I'm done.
Oh, 25 miles. It's all good. Let's go get a pint.
And then from there, it's cool. They just say how many meters to go. So it's like X amount, and then 600 meters. And then, of course, you take the turn, and Buckingham Palace is right there on your, like you're running in front of the gates. Buckingham Palace is right there. And then you turn right, and then there's the finish chute. And it's pretty big, and there's bleachers on each side. And then you actually run under the digital board. And I didn't know you could do it, but apparently you can actually, for supporters, can send digital messages. And then, so like when you go over a certain timing tab, it pings your bib, and then you see your messages up top.
Oh, that's so cool.
How do supporters do that? Do you know?
Through the app. You can do it through the app. I didn't find out until after I finished.
So the London Marathon app?
Yes.
Okay. And you got to do it beforehand?
Yes. And it's a super easy app too.
Good to know.
That's neat.
For supporters, because you need that. If you're there and you're probably like, I would be dying. I just want to finish. In your case, give me my star. Give me my medal. Yeah.
Speaking of medals.
Let's see.
We were going to ask about the bling. Okay,
it's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
So this...
But it has Braille on the other side.
No.
Okay, so the medal, I'm going to describe it for everybody who's not looking at the video. This looks like it is a solid piece of metal, and it's got everything carved in relief, like all the different icons. Key landmarks of London around. It's done circularly around the medal. In the middle of the medal, that looks like, I don't know if it looks like a river, like the Thames.
It's part of a loop of the course. Is actually that's a loop that you go around in the course. So that's actually part of the course map right there.
Oh.
Okay, so that's carved out of the center of the medal.
Yeah, the center of it, yeah.
And then on the back, they have
wait a minute. It says we finished together on the front around that.
That's the slogan for the race. We finished together.
We finished together.
That is such a cool medal. And it's
then
big.
And you said on the back.
Thick.
I'm sorry.
And then on the back, it's in Braille. And that's a gorgeous medal.
It says 2024, and that part of the course is the zero in the 20. Yeah.
And you could beat somebody with that medal.
It's hefty.
That's gold or bronze color.
It's like a rose gold, but from what I've been told, that this is number 4 in this series of medals, and this is actually recycled materials.
Oh,
here's to London. For their recycling and sustainability efforts.
Okay, so the bling is absolutely
amazing,
worthwhile.
And the shirt is great too.
And Amy was going to ask if you still keep the shirt from this one. You're wearing it, so clearly you do.
Sorry,
it hasn't fallen apart yet.
It's only been what, a month?
Yeah, a little over a month.
About
a month. Yeah, about a month.
A little over a month.
It was April 21st. I think it was.
Is there a big finish line party?
No, actually, there is none.
Or they're like,
really?
Cross the finish line, get the medal, and get out.
Pretty much, you go through the finish line, and it's cool. It's a real personal thing, which I do give them credit for. You finish, and then they have sectioned off And then they have individuals at the end of each of these sections, and one by one, everyone goes over and you get congratulated. So it's not like hand you your medal, go about your day. So they congratulate you, they put the medal over your head, and then you okay. And then you go a little bit past it, and they have the photographers there, and they're actually taking photos right there when you're done.
Oh, wow.
And then just beyond that, you get your Gatorade, your Mylar blanket, which I did save. I still have my Boston one too. I'm going to do something with them.
Oh, that'd be so cool. I can't wait.
Gear check is after that, and then you go about your way.
So really what you did was finish. You didn't have gear check, so you walked.
I just kept walking.
Point two.
Yep.
And did you meet up with your wife after, or?
Yep, my wife and my friends from Japan were actually at the hotel waiting for me. But the cool thing is, when you finish at the end of the row, like you walk down, and then it empties you out into Trafalgar Square. There's pubs everywhere, and people were just partying like rock stars. Like,
come drink with us
out on the sidewalks, drinking, having fun. They had balloon arches over the entrance of the bars, and we went into a couple of different ones, and people just had buckets with like champagne bottles. Like they were going. That was where the party was. The party was like the pubs near the finish line, in my opinion.
Did you just go straight back to the hotel? How did you feel at the finish?
I was pretty beat up.
Yeah,
I think that by like mile 23, I was okay. Yeah, this has been a.
You said at mile 12, your legs told you're
too much, buddy.
We're done with this.
Yeah, I was. They're like, you're too fast. You're too dumb. You're gonna pay for this for the rest of the race. So I finished. I wasn't in bad shape. I think I was just done. And it was. Then you start to think, and everything starts to register in your head, like what you just went through. And they met me at the bar, and it's funny. They're like, "Do you want to sit?" I'm like, "I actually don't want to sit right now. I just want to stand still and be in the moment."
Yeah.
Because I met them in the bar inside of our hotel, and like champagne's going everywhere. Like people were just drinking champagne. So I was like, "Oh, well, I'll have some champagne. What's the worst that can happen?"
Why not?
I'm like, "Let's have some champagne."
Yes.
And then after that, cleaned up, and I'm like, "Okay, I need to get food." And then we wandered off. We went to the Sherlock Holmes bar. It's really, it was really cool.
Tell us more about it. Oh, please.
It's weird knickknacks of crime solving. And then on the second floor, there was a room dedicated to like all stuff that they'd curated about Sherlock Holmes. But it had that real old timey feel to it, like old dark wood, leather, just a real kind of dark pub. And it was, I don't know, I thought it was fun. It was different. So we went there.
What did you have there?
I had a Pilsner's Life. And then I had a proper Sunday English roast. Like
I'm sorry.
Roast.
Ooh.
What is that?
So it just almost like the version of the prime rib dinner, but it was like English roast with Yorkshire puddings and vegetables. I had some nice pea soup. Like I had a real proper
mushy peas.
And how was it?
That was probably the best Yorkshire pudding I'd ever had. And I was joking around with my wife. I was like, these carrots have no business being as good as they are. And I can't believe I'm gushing over carrots after a race. I'm like, who am I? I'm like, I'm clearly.
You just ran 26 miles.
That's what it is. It just hits right.
Your body was craving everything that English meal had to offer.
Yeah.
And you're in England, you might as well get a proper roast or a proper dinner, right?
Yorkshire pudding, for people who don't know, what is it?
Like I don't know, maybe it's a New England thing, popovers.
Like a pot pie?
No, like the popover pastries where it's like the big airy top of it and the bottom's like really heavy and doughy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a popover like that. And they give you some gravy and you dip the popover or the English pudding in the gravy. And
yeah. English pudding is nothing like Jell-O pudding, just FYI.
It's not like chocolate pudding. It's not like a dessert.
Whole different animal.
I'm sorry, what is that?
Black pudding?
Yeah, let's tell the Runcation Nation.
It's made with blood. That's what gives it the color.
What?
Blood, oats, spices.
Suet.
And I feel like I'm forgetting something else.
But how does it taste?
Like sausage. You've had it.
I have?
You have.
At Raglan Road?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're going to have to go back and experience that again. Are there, and I know that this is a whole can of worms, are there must-see destinations after the race is over, or must-do places to eat and drink and celebrate?
I think find a local pub. Go where the people, like the locals, go, because one, it's the energy is, if you could put that in a bottle and sell it, you'd be a millionaire. but also they just celebrate you. They celebrate everything.
So
And
you wear the medal there? Or
oh, absolutely, yeah. I wore it on the plane. I'll tell you about that after. I wore it on the plane, and they gave me a bottle of Prosecco. The people on Virgin were like, "Congratulations! Here's a bottle of Prosecco."
Oh, that's awesome.
And then don't open it in the airport. I'm like, "Gotcha."
did you keep it or drink it or?
We kept it and drank it a few days later when we got home.
Good for you.
And hats off to Virgin. That's awesome.
Yes. Hashtag.
They didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Virgin, they were great. And they congratulated everybody on the plane that had finished. But the locals were they're in awe of what you do. Just like if you were in your city and you're watching a marathon, you're in awe of what other people are doing. I think it's just, they embrace it for what it is. It's just a human achievement. And I think when the city celebrates everything together, I don't know. You have to go where the locals are, and they take care of it.
This is one of the reasons we love the Donna weekend so much in Jacksonville. I know it's a local, it's more local, but when you see a city do that and you see the way the people do celebrate you, it's incredible.
Yeah.
We're going to be hopefully doing Donna this year. We had to defer it. We couldn't actually do it this year. We had a schedule conflict. So hopefully this coming one, we're going to be doing it.
So 2025?
Yep, 2025. I'm trying to put it on the books. So
I hope you do. I hope we see you there because it is, I don't know if it can compare to London, but the energy and the community and the things that you have talked about today are amazing. Amazing.
It also means a little bit more. We have a common friend that is going through some stuff. So, I mean, with Aaron from Will Run For Us.
Yes.
So I'm going out of my way for Donna this year for her. So
we hope that they all come to Donna. Yeah. We want to be there with Aaron, Michael, Tom, and Diana. We want to run. And I've always said, I've never done a marathon. We trained for 25 miles. We talk about this all the time. Almost every Runcation recap, we got up to 25 miles because Jeff Galloway says go the distance, so you're ready, right?
Yep.
But
and then we got the flu.
I think it was more than the flu, man. I think it was.
Whatever.
We couldn't do it.
Knocked us on our butts the week of, and that was back when Disney's, we don't do deferrals, so thanks for your money.
So we couldn't, but yeah, I've always said if I could do a marathon and if I could train for it and be healthy for it and for it, I know the Donna loops twice, the same kind for the half. Yeah. But now that the new course is in there, it's flat, fast loop course, but it's worth it. And if there's any marathon experience that would embrace you as a back of the packer, that would be it. And celebrate what you
It sounds like it might
accomplish.
Be on par with London.
Yeah. So where are you accomplishing and exploring next? And indulging, of course.
Indulging. I live near Disney, so I indulge all the time. But and I'm sure you saw my food pictures from my most recent trip to California.
I'm going to tell you, that looked amazing. I'm just saying.
That was a once in a lifetime experience. That was a bucket list for us. So that was to dine at 21 Royal. That was
yeah.
But
you looked gorgeous.
We may have to have you back on just to talk about that.
Yeah, both of you were gorgeous in the pictures.
I have to look good. You saw who I was standing next to. I have
your bride.
Yeah, so she steals the show wherever she goes.
She's beautiful.
As far as next for me, Chicago is the next one, and then New York, and then after that's mostly larger races like Space Ghost.
Oh, nice.
OUC. I'm doing Dora. This is my 4th year in row for Dora.
Mount Dora, yeah.
And then I'm back doing the half at Disney in January. That's going to be. I'm not running at Disney until then, so this is going to be. It's been weird. It's been a long time off.
So you're just doing the half. I say just
the half.
No, come on. You're doing the half marathon on the marathon weekend in January.
Yeah,
is your next time?
My wife and I are both doing it. Yep.
Nice.
We say that because we know so many people who do Goofy or Dopey or one of those, and they one race isn't enough.
I fell into that trap, but I think I'm to the point in my life where I don't need to prove anything to anybody anymore. So if I don't feel like doing Goofy or Dopey, I'm just going to run and have fun.
Your goal is the marathon majors, yes? All the Abbott stars.
Yeah, get my 6 stars and find out something else to do after that. Maybe run an ultra if my wife lets me.
Yeah.
But you're not running a 50 miler. I'm like, come on. It's only
I don't
50
know.
miles.
Greg in Orlando might have like some tips or tricks. Or
Greg is a
know.
beast.
He
He
is
is an absolute machine.
The Gideons he does cracks me up.
Yeah, man. Donut to donut.
But that ought to be like an official thing.
I know.
I know.
I know.
I'm just saying, and I want to see pictures of cookies
Right?
at the end.
At the start
or
and
a
the finish.
medal that looks like a cookie.
Or he could, like you run with donuts at in Atlanta at Jeff's race, you could run with Gideon's and all along the, anyway.
You have an LMNT.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That could be
There you go.
that could be amazing.
There
If
you
you're listening
go.
to Gideons, you're missing out on money.
Come on, Gideon's. Not
Get
that
on
you need
board.
it, but hit us up. Yeah.
Mike, where can the Runcation Nation connect with you online? Throw it out there if you got online profiles, whether personal, professional, whatever the case may be.
On Threads, Run Disnerd on Instagram. You'll find really inappropriate memes, and that's pretty much it.
We love that. I post a coffee
really
meme
bad
every
running
day.
jokes,
Really bad running jokes
Exactly.
and coffee memes and motivations, and we will link to that in the show notes in case people want to reach out, and they definitely
And all these cool
should.
places that we've talked about too, we'll have links in the show notes to all of those as well.
I will be very busy prepping the show notes for this one because it is a beast. I cannot thank you enough, Mike, for joining us. Congratulations on completing the London Marathon. Best of luck on all of the marathon majors that you have yet to go. And congratulations on all the ones you have done. Happy anniversary to you and your beautiful bride, first anniversary. And thank you for being a patron and part of the Runcation Nation. We really hope to accomplish, explore, and indulge with you really soon.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
That's a wrap. So thank you for joining us on your long run, your commute to work, around the house, wherever you are. I'm your host, Amy.
And I'm your co-host, Dana.
Stay safe and well, and we will accomplish, explore, and indulge with you really soon. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. We're having another great year thanks to your support. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We're at Run, Eat, Drink Podcast. And on Twitter, we're Run, Eat, Drink Pod. You can also give us a call at 941-677-2733 or send us an email at info@runeatdrink.net. Visit our website at runeatdrink.net and click on the subscribe link so you don't miss a minute. Find out how you can support the show at patreon.com/runeatdrinkpodcast. Accomplish, explore, and indulge right along with us. We'll talk to you next time.